What's up, gamers? And welcome back to the Nintendo Pipeline Podcast. This is honorary host Ness underscore friend of the podcast, or also known in the Discord as Ness underscore friend of the podcast. Um, I'm the host again. Get hecked, Clay. I win. But with me, there's Clay. If you want to introduce yourself.
Hello, it's me. I'm Clay. I was trying real hard not to laugh.
and and with both of us is my good friend Piner. If you want to introduce yourself.
Wait, we're friends?
Good. Okay.
Hello, I'm Piner. uh yeah, I am here. I'm clear. You better be used to it by the end of this episode.
Yeah. Which is very funny that we're mentioning gay people because um this episode is actually going to be talking about the new Speed Stuff marathon that just dropped about gay people, believe it or not. What's about trans
Well,
people, but
more about trans people, but
yeah.
LGBT umbrella, and in some ways it's definitely about gay people, but with definitely more of a focus on trans because it is kind of, Equality Texas definitely tries to combat like all forms of prejudice against LGBT groups, but currently the thing that they are working on the hardest due to current issues is trans rights and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've all gathered today to talk about how fucking epic the schedule is. I just wanted to say
Wait, I
that.
can cuss on here? I can cuss on here?
Don't go crazy. But yes, you can.
That's
This schedule is
fucking
just so
awesome.
cool. This schedule is just so cool. I'm sorry.
Um,
This is the best schedule of all time.
so
It's so good.
before we go into the schedule, yeah, so we're talking about Speed Stuff for Trans Lives. It's going to be happening on 12 p.m. Eastern, April 8th through April 10th, probably around midnight Eastern for that too, maybe a little after, depending on how things go. We're going to be raising money for Equality Texas on all 3 days. We'll actually have them on uh, during the actual marathon too, and they'll be talking with us. But yeah, it is Speed Stuff for Trans Lives is a speedrunning marathon. If you couldn't tell, we got tons of good content coming up, and we kind of wanted to talk about a little bit about what we've got, and we hope if you're kind of digging what you hear that you'll tune in. You'll be able to watch this on twitch.tv/speed stuff for charity. We'll put a link in the description for the Twitch channel, and that is going to be this weekend from when we're recording this.
Yeah, so it's like releasing depending on your time zone, tomorrow morning. Um, and pretty much from tomorrow morning, like 2 or 3 days or whatever, it's like 2 days, and then the marathon's happening. And if you're watching this video or listening to this video in the future, you missed out. But we're gonna have VODs. That's okay. We're gonna have
Yeah,
VODs.
it'll be on YouTube after the fact. If you can join and if you want to watch, that's awesome. If you can or are willing to donate to Equality Texas, then that's also great. But please don't feel like you need to. Even if you just want to hang out with us or retweet us on Twitter or something like that. All of the support is appreciated. Equality Texas, as you might imagine, is they are fighting for equality for pretty much everybody in the LGBTQ plus spectrum of people, and especially the trans and non-binary community right now, considering everything going on, as we said. So we just want to put on a good show for you guys and for them, and yeah, I guess we can kind of get into what you can expect to see.
Guys,
Yeah.
you're not ready for this opener. Okay, so usually with speedrunning marathons, like the ones you probably heard of, like GDQ and ESA, they try and pick something so unbelievably cool that no one can just miss it, right? You have to be there for the beginning, and then the next one's cool too. The next one's cool too. Guys, our first run on this schedule, it's so cool. It's a hat in time.
The hat in
It's a
time.
hat in time.
Ow. um, yeah, Hat in Time is going to be the any percent category. great game. I'm sure plenty of people who are listening to this are into or at least pretty familiar with 3D platformers like Mario 64 or Kirby and the Forgotten Land is the most recent one, but this is kind of like has a touch of Mario Sunshine in it, from what I understand. I've still not gotten around to playing this game because I'm a loser, but um,
Really?
yeah,
Loser.
I'm gonna
I've
kick you off the
wanted to for a
podcast.
while. I wanted to for a
Great.
while. I just haven't gotten to it yet. And that's by Swoos, right?
Yeah, it's by my
Mhm.
good friend Swoos 19. They are
Swoos
so
19.
cool.
So cool.
I mean, I know.
Um,
Okay, I know this is a podcast already, but um, they did a run of a different Hat in Time category for an event called Mid Spring Speed Fling last Saturday, and they actually did a live recording of their podcast for the marathon while playing a Hat in Time.
is that really? That's amazing.
Yeah, it was really funny because their podcast, if you're curious at all, it's called Dear PB Podcast, where they just answer viewer questions with guests playing their speed games, and it's just a good time. It's more of like a comedy type thing. Um, it's pretty funny, I'd say, and Swoos has like such good chemistry with a bunch of people that go on, so I mean it works. But I just thought it was really funny to mention that, just because that is the first time I've ever seen that happen in a speedrunning marathon.
Yeah, I can't say I've seen that one before. Moving along, after Hat in Time, we're going into Sonic Mania, which will be just Sonic beating the game, aka the good ending because he doesn't go into Sonic Forces. Um,
Hey, hold on.
Forces was
As an
fine.
avid person who thinks Forces was okay,
Mm,
I'm not standing for the slander. All I'm saying is that if the devs were just allowed to do what they wanted to, not put
yep,
classic Sonic in the game and replace all of his levels with Avatar stages, the game would have been decent instead of okay.
but they didn't. So here we are.
Also, I love the Forces drill. That was so cool.
Forces Drill is very fun.
Yeah, if you know how to like just vaguely break 3D Sonic, the drill is gonna be the most fun thing in like a Sonic game, like to you. It's so
Yeah,
fun.
but that's not this run. This run is classic Sonic Mania, Sonic using the drop dash, all that fun stuff. There's actually a bunch of Sonic throughout this marathon, and we'll get to more of that later. But if you enjoy Sonic, definitely stay tuned.
I feel like if you
Um,
enjoy Sonic, you'd love SS4C in general because 2 years ago we took like 6 games, and last
No, it was not. Wasn't it 8? Wasn't
no
it
no
8?
last year it's like 7 or 8.
Goodness.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, the
okay,
one
okay.
before we were like, that's a lot of Sonic. Next time we won't be so bad. We're not gonna be so egregious. It's fine because like we were just friends with a bunch of Sonic runners, right? And they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna support your event. We're gonna submit.
I mean, that's not even. Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
it's not that we accepted them because we're friends with them. It's more so that they submitted because it's a relatively small marathon, all things considered. So all our friends submitted, and they also are cool and awesome at their speed games. So it just kind of worked out that way.
Yeah, and then a bunch of them got in, right? And then next year happened, and then we're like, yeah, we're not gonna be so bad. And then there's actually a message in general in the general chat from like before their games list came out, and they were like, yeah, it'd be really funny if like I personally didn't get in, but there were like 7 Sonic games on the schedule, and we were like, and there were 8.
Yeah, we don't have quite that many, but we
I,
have a good amount of Sonic. And not only Sonic in terms of like big names, but the next run is actually Spyro 2, the reignited trilogy version. Um, that's going to be any percent no level skips, so we get to see pretty much all of the worlds of that game. It's going to be a real fun time if you like Spyro, or if maybe you haven't seen the reignited version. There are differences, and that's going to be from Mads Brutal, so she's going to put on a pretty good show for Spyro 2.
I don't know anything about Spyro. I just know that you're like a little dragon and you get gems and you free other dragons? Question mark.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fun to see the route through different levels. Um, especially in terms of like charging and like getting gems and stuff because you need to pay money bags for certain things. He'll give you like powers or like let you cross a bridge or whatever it is he wants to charge you for. So you have to kind of get
Capitalist pig.
yeah, get enough gems along the way and route that out. Um, and then so that like that's kind of like the opening like trilogy right there is like Hat in Time, Sonic Mania, Spyro 2.
3 hard
Um,
hitters right there.
yeah, and then we go into Time Spinner, which um, if people are not familiar with Time Spinner, imagine Symphony of the Night, um, but like an indie version of Symphony of the Night. Um, especially in terms of like the menus and like being able to like get like new weapons and stuff as you go through. Um, they're going to be doing a new game plus, and it's going to be glitchless. And I mean, so this run is like around 24 minutes. So even though it's glitchless, so if you want to see like that kind of Metroidvania game like destroyed, um, Time Spinner will be a good watch, and it won't take you long to watch either.
Yeah, it's pretty quick, like for what it is. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like
Yeah.
I personally just like I'm friends with the runner. I love Susie. Um, I was watching through like this mission video, because I can do that as someone who judges submissions. Um,
Yeah.
and it just looked pretty cozy. It looked pretty fun for like what it was. Um, that's one I'm pretty excited to see because I haven't seen it all the way through in a while.
Yeah. So then afterwards, we got a kind of another heavy hard hitter for Nintendo fans. Mr. Shasta, former, well, not former, but what do you call it? Alumni of this podcast, is going to be running Wario Land 4. And it's going to be the normal mode. Any percent zipless, so it'll be pretty like it'll be very I don't want to use the word honest, but like it's definitely a run that you can watch and you're not necessarily going to see like crazy out of bounds wild stuff, but you are going to see very skill based movement and gameplay and get a really good sense for what speedrunning Wario Land 4 is like. um and it's a treat, it's an absolute treat because the movement in Wario Land 4 is a lot of fun.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
absolutely.
Wario game movement in general is like super like cool to watch. I personally can't get into the games, but I love just like watching Wario runners.
Yeah, I mean
When the
it's
shorter go
extremely
funny.
satisfying.
Shorter go
um
funny.
Yeah, pretty
Fart.
much. You
So
can
true.
you can break into a run, I believe, with the R button, and that's going to predicate a lot of the fast movement in this game. But there's plenty of fast platforming and all kinds of fun stuff. Anyone who knows Wario Land knows what to expect here, but it goes by fast. I mean this run is pretty much like roughly 55 minutes. Um, and so I guess this is a good time to mention if you're not familiar with speedrunning marathons or how this stuff goes. As we go through and people donate, we open up what are called donation incentives, and we won't be talking about. We will mostly won't be talking about them right now because there are a few that are still kind of up in the air right now. But as an example, if anyone's familiar with Wario Land 4, there is a Wario Hop mini game. It's like this little mini game that you can play where you like basically have to jump over stuff and not get hit. Um, and for some reason, Mr. Shasta is extremely good at this at
It's
this
it's like
game.
Yeah.
the Google dinosaur game, but like better.
Yeah, yeah, yes, that. Um, and so pretty much what will happen is at some point in the event, a donation incentive will open up, and if we raise a certain amount of money going towards that incentive, then that will be added in as like a little bonus thing to the schedule. And we have a bunch of stuff like that. We have ones that are specifically incentives where you can donate and choose to donate towards that thing. We have ones that you can donate, and it's more of a bidding war where you can kind of make a choice, like maybe like the color of a character, or if the version of the game that's being played, whoever whatever the higher total is wins. And then the last type is milestone goals, and those are pretty much for bonus games, like entirely extra games on the schedule. And that just goes by, you don't have to do anything special for those. That goes by cumulative
Yeah.
donations. And we'll make sure to mention when we have a bonus game. We have a couple in this marathon, and I think they're all pretty good.
Every single one of those is like a 10 out of 10 speed run that you have to
Yeah.
watch.
And I think for Nintendo fans in general, the bonus games will be to your liking.
To
But
your
we will,
absolute loving, actually.
yeah, we will get there when we get there. We do have segments with the charity, as I mentioned earlier. There's one each day, and so our first one is going to happen right after Wario Land 4. We're going to be talking with Nicole from Equality Texas and kind of getting a sense of what they're about and how their work has impacted the community. And so, if you really want to learn more about the charity, maybe you want to know where your money's going, or you want some kind of extra information or to hear from them, that's going to be a good time to learn a bit more about that. And that'll be happening a little bit before 5:30 Eastern, if all goes well according to schedule. So definitely come by for that.
Yeah,
But
absolutely. Like
what do we
I
got
just think
next,
it's
though?
pretty fun to always have like a it's always pretty fun to have a charity segment. Even with like GDQ, they have some of those. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, yeah. Equality Texas has been great to work with, and they have some really cool people in their organization. So we're happy that we get to, have a couple segments featuring them and giving them a chance to kind of explain in their own words, what they're about, instead of, you can read a website or whatever, but it's
Right.
sometimes you want to hear it. Um, and following that, Ness, what is our next run?
Okay, so to describe it as vaguely as possible, this game is a dog is it's a dog petting simulator. Um,
Mm.
this incredible game is called Hades. You don't do anything else; you just pet the dog. That's it. Um,
Yep.
so yeah, um, this is uh, this next round is gonna be Hades. The category is gonna be modded 3 weapons, so it's completing the game 3 times, 1 time with each, with three different weapons. Um, so like if you're bad at a couple weapons, you don't have to play them. It's fine. But the modded categories are just versions of the game that don't have as much of like the really like unfortunate RNG that can kill a lot of like Hades runs. So it's gonna be a lot more consistent, but it's gonna be like a lot more quick, a lot more flashy, I guess. A lot of the rooms could be pretty flashy, and
Yeah,
and a lot of people just absolutely love Hades, and
yeah,
it
it's
just
pretty
feels so
popular.
satisfying to play, honestly. And watching this is gonna feel like playing it for like the third time, like after you like get a
Yeah,
grasp on everything, and you can just like start being incredible.
this is also by our the Spyro runner from earlier, Mads Brutal. She is also good at Hades. And to give you an idea, yeah, it is three separate runs of the game, but it's still only like around a little over 50 minutes. So if you're like, oh God, can I sit through this 3 times? It's not that long. Things are gonna kind of, as you probably are used to if you're familiar with speedruns, things are gonna fly by. So going through the game 3 times in less than an hour, I think is pretty wild.
Yeah, I take like 1 hour to like get to the end and then die.
Yeah, this is another one I haven't started yet. I've like put it off for so long. But
Me when I don't play games. That's me.
yeah,
My name is Clay.
My
yeah,
name is Clayton.
yeah, yeah. Laugh it up.
I was actually about to dox him accidentally.
Me
Yeah,
too.
you almost.
I almost did. Like it was in the back of my throat. It was coming up, and I was
It
wasting
was
it.
on the tip of my tongue, bro. It wasn't at the back of my
Please,
throat.
For
I
real.
almost said
please do
it.
not. And so, following Hades, we kind of take a different direction, and our friend Peas SMB,
I love that guy.
uh,
That guy's awesome.
yeah, pretty cool guy. We're going into puzzle game territory with Puyo Pop Fever. Um, and I know there are lots of people in Pipeline Discord who love puzzle games and Puyo Puyo. If you like Puyo Puyo, you probably know what to expect here. He's going to be doing the all courses easy category, so it's going to be lots of fast kills on the CPUs.
Also, the
Yeah,
incredible
and
music of Puyo Puyo.
yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
Also,
Um,
I just wanted to like mention this because like I'm gonna forget later probably. Um, Peas is not only incredible at like Puyo. I don't think he like plays like competitive Puyo anymore, but like um he's like pretty good at it. Um,
yeah,
he's also a top monkey ball runner, right?
yeah,
He's very good at Super Monkey Ball, and not only those two, he's also a competitive Mario Kart player.
And a
yeah,
former competitive Smash player.
Yeah,
yeah. So he's kind of
this guy's the
got
gamer
like
Good, I've played with
genius.
him
every
before.
kind of category covered. You got like puzzle game, fighting game, racing game, and then whatever you want to call monkey ball.
Marble Roller.
Yeah, marble roller. Um,
Ball roll. Roll ball. Ball
Monkey.
rolling the ball monkey.
Monkey.
and if you enjoy monkey ball, we do have some of that coming up a little later, and we'll get to that when we get to it. Um,
Yep.
but for now, we actually have a kind of an interesting one next. You might be wondering what this game is doing in a speedrunning marathon, but it is Panorama Cotton. If you're
You
familiar
might
with
be
Cotton,
wondering what this game is,
yeah,
actually.
Don't worry, me too.
It's
yeah,
it's a lot. This game is really, really weird. It's kind of like it's a rail shooter, but like it's like really open and it's like 3D esque, scrolling kind of
if
thing.
if you're familiar with Space Harrier, that's the format
Yeah,
that we're looking at here. Um, Cotton is probably the one of the more known in the category of cute 'em ups. And although a lot of the Cotton games are side scrolling, this one is behind the behind the character's perspective, like Space Harrier. And unlike a lot of those games, where it's like, oh, okay, things are scrolling, you can't really influence much. Panorama Cotton has a speed control, and it's going to be on full blast the entire game. So stuff is just going to be like rushing by. Lots of quick dodging and quick kills, and it's kind of just wild to look at. It looks like I look at it, and I'm like, I could never control or play this at this speed. It's wild.
You also struggle with Super Mario Run, so I don't know how good of a
I do
character
not
witness you
struggle with Super
are.
Mario Run. I'm very good at
You
Mario
struggle
Run.
with
Thank you
Wordle.
very
That's
much.
literally a 1D game. I don't know what to tell you.
Listen, listen. Wordle, I'm fine at Wordle. You suffer at Wordle. You're bad at Wordle.
I'm 11, okay? It's
I
okay.
know.
It's okay for me to be bad at Wordle.
also you can't read, you're gay.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
fine.
that's true.
You can't talk to me like this 3 days before SS4TL. You just can't do that.
Speaking of games like Wordle that obviously nobody knows what those are, we got a little indie game next by Is Bullets
I
called Super
absolutely love his
Dream
bullets.
Dasher. And I
Um,
know, Ness, you like this game.
yeah, okay. So I saw this game in this mission list, and I saw bullets played a couple times. Like, it looks fun, right? And I went out and got it, and oh, this game is so cool. And watching bullets play is super super cool. Um, it's like I don't know if you know of this, but it's like Waveland, which is the 2D like maybe it's like a 2D platformer.
Yeah,
That's
it's like an action platformer.
yeah,
It's based off of one of Melee's fundamental techs, which is wave landing, which is where you go like under a platform and you do a directional air dodge to like land on that platform instead of like falling onto it. You like directional air dodge and it gives you like a bunch of momentum, and you can like slide off the platform and like do a whole bunch of crazy stuff with that. And implementing that into a speed run means that there's going to be a ton and a ton of really, really, really clean, just like movements that are really precise, really tight, really just fast. So, that's what Waveland is like.
yeah.
This game
This game
is
is
like that.
yeah, it's like that, except you can also lock onto enemies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you're a homing attack fanatic from Sonic, then you'll probably get some satisfaction from watching this. It just flows very well.
Yeah, like
Um,
like I
very
was
smooth.
struggling with the game not because I was like really bad at it. I was struggling with the game because I was trying to go as fast as possible. like
It's a
like you're
very
gonna
cute
absolutely love
game.
this game. Yeah.
Yeah, it's on Steam if you want to play it for yourself. I don't know if it's on any other platforms yet. I know it's fairly recent
Yeah, it's only a few months
release, isn't
old.
it? Yeah. So we hope you'll enjoy it. We all thought it was really neat, and we think that you'll enjoy the flow and just how satisfying it is. I just kind of like kept watching it in the background and just kind of watched it sort of flow and play out, and it's very satisfying.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's so
Um,
cool. But this next run,
yeah.
so cool.
So I know pipeline users and Nintendo fans in general love Pokemon, or maybe they love arguing about Pokemon more. I feel like that's probably the answer. Um,
Can't call
but
them out like
uh,
that.
yeah, yeah, I can. But we have new Amber who will be doing a Pokemon Let's Go run, and we have a bid war for this game where you actually get to choose if it's the Pikachu version or the Eevee version. Um, so that's going to be a lot of fun. We'll see which one comes out on top. I know there's a lot of strong opinions on which of those two is the better Pokemon. Um,
Yeah, it's actually really cool if you've never seen like a LGPE run. Um,
yeah,
so there's a lot of routing that goes on for each of the gyms because for each of the gyms there's like a weird requirement that you need to like fulfill before you can actually go into the gym and challenge the gym. Even if you can't like beat the gym leader, you need to have one of those requirements. So like for Brock, you either need a water Pokemon or a grass Pokemon, which is really stupid. You can't even have a water Pokemon by that point, but whatever. Um, yeah, so like for Brock, you'd have a grass Pokemon. For Sabrina, you'd need to have a level 45 Pokemon. Um, the biggest one, though, the one that's going to be the hardest to do in a speedrun, is Koga's, which is catch 50 Pokemon. So a lot of the
yeah,
routing in the game is when you go through routes, catching Pokemon you don't have, and catching Pokemon when like you're able and like when it's like not going to be like a big hindrance. Catching specific types of Pokemon for more XP for your Pokemon, and then also with that XP, managing what levels your Pokemon are at so they can evolve, so you can get more catches without actually having to like, go in and catch Pokemon. It's
yeah.
super super interesting.
It's very different from a traditional Pokemon run. And if you've played like Pokemon Gen 1 or Pokemon Yellow and you think that, oh, okay, it's just going to be like that because it is a remake of Pokemon Yellow, it's extremely different. This one is probably, I would say, the first run on the schedule that's pretty long. It's a nice, cozy run going into the night. Um, it is a lot of fun. And I think you guys will enjoy it. You also enjoy the next game, which is our first bonus game. Um,
Bonus. This is bonus.
So
Bonus
the first
game.
so the first bonus game is Metroid Dread.
Bonus. This is bonus.
This is a bonus.
Being run by Jaina, and they are one of the best. Like they are one of the top Metroid Dread runners. Like I think last I looked, they're like sixth out of like God, I don't know how many runs are on that
I
board, but
think there's
there are a lot.
over 1,000 now.
I'm actually
It's a
gonna look right
lot.
now because I'm so curious.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
curious. I'm looking up. I'm looking it up
The,
right now.
the category that they are doing is any percent no major glitches. So if you're looking for, again, I used this terminology with Shasta before, but if you're looking for like a clean, sort of honest run that doesn't use, some of the weird bugs and exploits that are in Metroid Dread, and you're really looking to see someone who's just extremely skilled at the game, um, in general. Not that you wouldn't be skilled if you're using those glitches because they are hard to perform.
And
Um,
also, you still have to be really, really good at fighting the bosses and stuff like that. This being
yeah,
hand skip, it's all still
yeah,
you got to be real good at that.
Yeah.
yeah,
But this is
but
definitely just like a more like comprehensible, I would feel,
yeah,
and a more
yeah,
like standard playthrough of the game, which I think
yes,
is like more friendly
yeah.
to some.
Yeah, if you
Um,
don't watch a lot of speedruns or you're not really super familiar with Metroid Dread, this category is very watchable. It's not going to be like, oh, they spend like 30 minutes, out of bounds in the map. And if you've played the game, you can recognize how cool that is. But maybe if you haven't, you don't totally understand what's going on or really the impact of what's going on. This category is very easy to follow. And if you've played the game in general, you'll be able to follow it pretty easily. And even if you haven't,
If you've played a platformer game, you'll probably find this fun.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Also, there are 518 runs on the board currently.
Yeah, so there's 500 something, there's 530 something on unrestricted and on no major glitches. Yeah, there's 518.
518. And Jane is
15th.
Is 15th, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did I say that right? Did I mispronounce the name entirely?
I believe that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, like, yeah, you're top 15 in a game with that many unique runners is kind of wild. So that's probably, you can probably understand then why that's a bonus game. It's gonna be a fun time, and that's not all for Metroid. The game that's gonna be following it is Metroid Fusion, and you might be wondering, why wouldn't you do Metroid Fusion and then in Metroid Dread? Well, it's a long story. We're not gonna go there.
Yeah, it's a long story.
It's a long
At
story.
2 a.m. I don't want to talk about it. You know, I'm awake now. That's what matters.
But Metroid Fusion is going to be by Autumn Out of Habit, and she's actually going to be doing a randomizer for Metroid Fusion. And if you are familiar at all with randomizer, I feel like it's becoming more popular, so more people here are familiar with it. Essentially, what this does is it randomizes item locations in the game. So, bosses will give you different power-ups, or, if you go into a room and collect a tank, it might not be an energy tank. It might actually be a very critical, item or upgrade. And the fusion randomizer is very interesting, I think, personally. And it's a fun way to kind of, remix Metroid Fusion in a way that can make it fresh. Something fun for this game is that we will have an incentive to fight Ridley, which you might be like, well, of course you would fight Ridley, but in randomizer, Ridley actually does not come up that much.
Yeah, like almost always will not have to fight Ridley, just because it's a randomizer. You can get items to just not have to do it.
Yeah. So if you want to ruin the speedrun of the randomizer seed and make Autumn go out of her way to fight Ridley, that will be a donation incentive that you can do. But in any case, you're going to be seeing the full game, but with items all over the place. Like it's kind of wild. You really need to have a very strong knowledge of this game to be able to do this category successfully, and Autumn is fantastic at it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
And that's gonna be the last run for Friday, at least Pacific time.
If you're in Pacific time. If you're Eastern time, it'll be a little bit after midnight for you by the time Fusion happens. But them's the breaks.
Yeah.
And again, if you can't be up, or you want to see it later, we will have VODs up on our YouTube channel, which we'll also leave in the description.
Yeah. Also, since new day, blah 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 blah. I do want to mention, it's been half an hour. You can get up off the toilet. It's fine. You don't have to keep sitting. I know you went in there to use the bathroom. Now, like, just pause the video. Get up, wash your hands. We'll wait for you. It's fine. We're gonna be here.
I don't know, man. I have to listen to the whole thing when I'm on the toilet. You don't want to pause that. Why would you want to pause this?
It's just absolutely, like, it's okay if you wanna get up, go back to your computer, go boop, 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 on youtube.com, come back to this video. It's okay. And you want to know what else is okay? Incredible.
Yeah, I do.
This next game, it's called
I hear that you
Portal
like
2.
This game.
I love Portal 2. I love Portal 2. It's also coming to the Switch, but this is a run on PC because I don't think many people would run on Switch. But
yeah, it's also not out yet. Actually, no, it is. It is out on Switch. My bad.
I didn't know that. I thought it was coming out like next month.
I think. I don't remember anymore. Either way, it'll be there soon if it's not already, and you can play it on so many different platforms, and you probably should play it on some platform because it's good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Portal 2 is like the source run. A lot of people would say like the source run would be like Half-Life, because you get like ABHing, and you also get like a lot of the cool like glitches with Half-Life.
For anyone that doesn't know what that means.
Yeah, for anyone that doesn't know what ABHing is, it's basically just you walk forward, and then you turn around and you let go of W, and you keep crouching, and then you go really, really fast backwards. Just because
honestly,
Source does not cap your backwards movement. It only caps your movement when you're holding a direction, when you're holding forward. And it caps your movement going forward by giving you negative velocity.
So honestly, I didn't know what that was before you explained it, and my thinking was, you said you're walking forward, and then I legitimately thought you were going to say you're walking forward, but you're actually walking backwards, and that kind of was almost sort of it.
Yeah, basically.
But Portal 2, the category here is inbounds no SLA. What does that mean?
Yeah, so our runner, Fridge, I love this guy. I had a talk with him
That fridge
earlier. This
fellow.
guy's awesome. Yeah,
Great name.
yeah, that Fridge fella is such a good name. But yeah, inbounds no SLA is beating the game without going out of bounds, um, without doing glitches that involve saving and loading. So if he messes up, he can do like a save load to like go back to where he was like a few minutes ago. That's totally fine. But he can't do save loads to get like out of bounds and that type of stuff.
Right.
And yeah, so it's a lot of just like precise portal placements, precise like flings and like getting to like different parts of the game as fast as possible, just completely skipping puzzles. Um, with like the Portal 2 bunny hopping and all that cool like movement tech. And it's only like an hour. Like I think Fridge's
Yeah.
PB is 105 or 106, which is like
Yeah.
top portion, so that's like top 80, I think. Still like
Wow.
an
Yeah.
incredible run. Like because
I
there's
mean,
like
that's a very
probably
popular
like a
game.
couple thousand runs or something on Portal.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look this up too. I'm curious. I don't know. I haven't looked in a while.
While you do that, I want to give a special shout out for the next couple of runs. So, some of you may know Alexis Goes Moo. She is in the Nintendo Pipeline server. She's part of our community. Um, and so she's got two runs back to back coming up. So the first is Valkyria Chronicles, which, if you're a Nintendo fan, maybe you haven't played it if you've only played Nintendo stuff or you've only had Nintendo platforms. But if you need a comparison, it's like SteamWorld. It's like Codename Steam, but good. Essentially, it's a turn-based tactical strategy game, but with real-time like aiming. So like you have to like shoot at stuff in real
Yeah.
time, but you're moving on like a grid. It's a very interesting game with a very distinctive look. Um, and I know that as long as I've known Alexis, she has been grinding away at Valkyria Chronicles, and I'm just really, really happy that we get to feature it here. That's going to be the new game plus category, so there's going to be some wacky things going on. If you want to know about Valkyria Chronicles, you will learn a lot watching this run. She is extremely knowledgeable about the game and how it works. So uh, I hope that some of you will come out and support her. It's at kind of a weird time. It's like almost 5 a.m. On the East Coast. So maybe our Euro friends can be there for that one, and the others can catch it on VOD later.
Our European friends, the
Um,
ones that don't like shorts, I'm calling you out.
the ones who do not like short sleeve dress shirts because they're not dress shirts, yeah.
I'm calling you
Yeah.
guys out. I'm calling you guys out right now.
God,
Live
yeah.
on the podcast.
Before we go there, Alexis has another run directly after that that is probably relevant to a lot of you, and that is Xenoblade Chronicles Future Connected. That is the special epilogue bonus story that they included in the Xenoblade Chronicles remaster on Switch. And Alexis happens to run that too. And that one's these are both pretty short runs, especially as far as RPGs go. Valkyria Chronicles is around an hour and a half, and Xenoblade Future Connected is only a little over 30 minutes. That one's going to be the any percent casual category. So she's going to be looking to just get to the credits as soon as possible. It's a very comfy time. Midnight and later in the night is good for RPG stuff and maybe some lower key stuff. But do not be mistaken. It's pretty interesting and pretty energetic. Um, so yeah, shout outs to Alexis. I'm so glad that we're able to showcase her in this marathon. Especially since she's part of our community. So yeah, absolutely cool stuff.
Yeah, and speaking of RPGs, technically, um,
Technically.
yeah, this next one, kinda, sure, whatever. It's an RPG. I'll count it. We have a good friend, Zell underscore 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 underscore, running Hearthstone. And if you're like listening to me right now, you're like, one, why does that guy have so many underscores? It's cool. It's a fad to have underscores in your name now. Twitch is awesome. Stay on
I guess
YouTube. Please
so.
don't go to Twitch. Second, how do you run Hearthstone?
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
So if you've never played Hearthstone before, bless your soul. But
Good.
Damn.
But yeah, there's like these different like campaigns in the game, that are just different, like I don't know like if they have stories, but I know that there's different like quote unquote stories they're trying to tell or whatever, um through like different fights with different people you have to fight, and there's different types of fights, and there's uh like set decks that you have to use. Um, a lot of the run is knowing what decks the other people like the AI have, so you can try and just counter whatever like RPG like bullshit they could do to you, and then just
Yeah.
like winning through that. And it's super super interesting, I think. I'm not even like a card game player. I just love watching like RPG runners just like absolutely knowing everything about a run. I think it's super cool.
Yeah, I mean, if you are familiar with Hearthstone, I think more people are familiar with Hearthstone in like the competitive sense, like playing against other people online. So this is kind of a different, different look at Hearthstone than you typically see on Twitch, because of course there's plenty of people streaming Hearthstone on Twitch. So if you're looking for something a little bit different and you still like the game, definitely check this run out. Um, we got a couple of interesting ones next. Um, this is by a runner named Ossica, Ossica424. She's doing Mom Hid My Game, which is on a variety of platforms, including Switch. It is a puzzle game where essentially the objective is to find the game that your mom hid on you, because you want to play video games when your mom's not looking. And this category is fun because not only are we doing that, we're doing a category called Mama Percent, and the reason for that is because in some of the different puzzle levels, your mom is like hiding in the stage, and if you accidentally reveal her, you fail the level and have to start over. So for Mama Percent, not only are we doing all the levels, we're also showing you all the different places that Mama shows up, all of her appearances. um, so it's a fun little speedy, quirky puzzle game. It's only a little over 20 minutes long. And that leads into another game that some of you may be familiar with on Super Nintendo. Uh, most people play games like Link to the Past or Super Mario World on Super Nintendo. But Asuka, she plays Captain Novolin on SNES. And if that seems familiar, it's probably because you've seen it at a GDQ or another event. It is the game that teaches you about diabetes and insulin. And I say game very loosely.
It is
Um,
definitely a game.
it would be the game.
Enoblin,
Yeah,
Crusader for juvenile diabetes.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
If you are familiar with the awful block at GDQ, or maybe the silly block as they seem to call it lately, and you're looking for like that real like degen like bad game, this is a good one. It's very short. It's like 10 minutes. You'll learn not that much, incidentally, about diabetes and insulin. Um, but it is a video game that exists.
Yeah. Also,
Yes.
a couple of things I want to mention about Asuka. Um, she's part of that. She's a part of staff on that on that marathon I mentioned earlier. Midwest Speed Fest. She's a part of staff there, so she like knows quite a bit about just like speedrunning stuff, and like she 100% put on a great show, especially at 6 in the morning Pacific time. That's a bit early.
Yes. Yeah.
She absolutely knows how to put on a great show. She was accepted into GDQ. She absolutely knows all of her stuff. She also has a backup game, which we are not really going to mention the backup games, but I do want to say if something goes like drastically wrong, we need to like replace a game or something. She actually has Moss, which is a VR game about leading this mouse um, who speaks in ASL. It's so
Yeah, that's
cool.
super cool. That is super cool. It's a very unique game. I think maybe the closest I could say to compare it is like something like Astrobot, if you're familiar with that on PS4 VR. It's not like quite like that, but like it's kind of similar. Again, it's a very unique game and experience, but we'll see if we end up having to pull that card.
Yep. And
Uh,
next up, though, we have
yes,
F George. It's just fun to say F George. I'm gonna say it a few more times. F George.
Yeah, you're
F
right.
George. But with Toho 6, Embodiment of Scarlet Devil, which
great title.
is a very, very, very famous, like one of the like most famous Toho games, I would say. I'd say this and probably I'm not too versed in Toho, but I know a little bit here or there. Gosh, I'm just not going to embarrass myself by getting the name wrong. So something night, anyways. This is going to be on hard with no bombs. Which,
Yeah.
if you do not know what bombs do in Toho, they generally remove most, if not all, of the projectiles on screen and then do a bunch of damage to things. They're kind of like your get out of jail free card for like any given really difficult situation. Bombs are not allowed in this run, so you can't do that. You just have to eat it. You just have to. If you're in a bad situation, get owned, nerd.
Yeah.
And this is gonna be on hard too, which really, really crazy. Like Toho on harder difficulties, actually absurd. Like it's such a brutal bullet hell. So that's gonna be like just a masterclass of like skill.
Yeah.
Watch that. So do catch that. I know it's a bit early in the morning, so
Yeah,
if you gotta watch it later, we'll catch the VOD or whatever. Do so, but do watch it in some form.
Please watch
Yeah,
it.
it's roughly 9:45 in the morning, Eastern Coast. If things go to schedule, it's a big if.
Yeah, I also want to
We actually do
mention.
have a lot of Toho fans on Pipeline, interestingly, which I never really thought that there would be like an overlapping thing there, but
I didn't know that.
yeah, if you like Toho, if you like bullet hell shooters, you're gonna want to catch this. And then on top of it, as if that isn't enough, we do have a bonus incentive for this game where if we raise enough, we will get to see George do a run of the extra stage in this game, which is basically the just insanity. It's
Yeah,
just
it's a lot.
insanity.
It's a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
So remember, it's Imperishable Night. That's the game.
Oh, there
Oh.
you
The
go.
one
There we
that I
go.
was thinking of. I did it.
Yeah.
I'm so smart.
But this is Toho
Congratulations,
6. I know that Ness, you really like this next game, and I think a lot of people on Pipeline will like it as well because it reminds me a little bit of Box Boy.
Yeah, so the next game we have is it's so cool. I love this game. It's
Pico Park
Pico
is
Park.
hilarious.
Yeah. You might know about this game because you might see your favorite streamer with 7 other random streamers, I don't know, just playing Pico Park yelling at each other for like 4 hours before they finally like get through half the game and quit.
It's one of those.
If you're a VTuber fan, this one will be quite familiar to you.
Yeah.
Very, very large like Hololive members. Very large amount of them played this game together. And there are a lot of clips going around because of that. So after seeing the uncoordinated mess that was whatever way you first watched this game, seeing a 1-player 2 controllers speed run of this game is going to be quite the opposite of that previous experience, because this is just going to be ridiculous. Like the amount of coordination and stuff that goes into this run is definitely not to be understated. So
yeah, it looks so cool. Yeah, so that run is an absolute banger, but this is a banger Nintendo game.
Well, before we get to that, for anyone who's kind of wondering like what this game is about, you essentially have different like puzzle levels that you need to get through, and typically, it's 2 players at least going through these levels together. So think of like a level that would be kind of like Box Boy, where you step on a switch or like you push a block or you do different things. There's different gimmicks in each level, and things get pretty like wild as you go further and further in the game. So
Blue
not only is
platforming.
this, yeah, and so not only is this happening, but the runner Kali Monster, they are going to be playing as two characters at the same time. So yeah, it's definitely a unique kind of game if you want to check that out. But yes, upcoming after that.
Bang your Nintendo game right here, right here. You're not gonna be ready for this. We have Super Mario Odyssey by my good friend Ganon. Yeah,
You might be
Mario
wondering what
Odyssey
Ganon
is
is doing in
great.
Mario.
Oh, yeah.
I'm kidding.
I forgot that like Ganon exists out of Twitch.
Yeah, yeah, yep. Ganon is a
me
thing.
when I don't play Zelda games.
Yeah.
No, what's
But
worse
yeah.
is I do play Zelda games.
Since when?
I played Zelda games, I just don't beat them.
Yeah. So you never get to Ganon. That's my
Well,
point.
That,
I
yeah,
beat
there
Wind
you
Waker,
go.
okay? That's good enough.
Ganon is one of the best Mario Odyssey runners, and that is not a thing to say lightly because, as some of you may know, maybe not, Mario Odyssey kind of took speedrun.com by storm when it came out. It was, and it might still be, one of the most popular speed games on that site and in general.
I'm
And
gonna look that
Ganon
up
is,
actually.
It has over
Ganon is,
1,000 runs. I do know that
yeah,
much.
Yeah.
and Ganon is very, very good. At Odyssey, they're going to be doing any percent, so they're just going to get to the credits.
This has enough runs that when you scroll to the bottom, it says load more runs. I've never seen that
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
Ganon is top 20 in this game, by the way.
Yeah, so there's
Yeah.
32, almost 3,300 runs. And in any percent, after I get to the top again, Ganon is 18th.
Yeah. So that's the top 20 runner out of, what, did you say 3,000?
Almost 4,000.
Okay, so almost 4,000. It is a high skill ceiling. Anyone who's played Odyssey knows it has some wild movement. Even if you're just playing through normally, you have a lot of options, a lot of different things you can do. And not only do we have any percent from Ganon, but we're gonna have a donation incentive for this one.
Yeah, actually, I want to explain this because I want to say this is funny.
Yeah.
So if you're still not like completely convinced that like Ganon is the GOAT of all time, in their favorite category, they are 5th. That category is Darker Side. Darker Side is super cool, but completely aside from that, the donation incentive is for a category that Ganon previously had a record in. It's called Koopa Freerunning RTA, which is just doing all of the Koopa freerunnings in a row, like in like the same timer, right? Ganon had record like a few days ago for maybe 10 minutes. I'm not joking. That category is like pretty contentious for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, I was actually watching their stream, and Ganon got record by 0.3. And then someone else,
I'm assuming.
Yeah, 0.3 seconds.
Okay.
No, yeah, 0.3 seconds. And then someone in their chat finished a run because like they started a run around the same time. A few minutes later, finished behind the previous world record by like 0.2 or 0.3 or something. And then 5 minutes later, the person that they're in a VC with finishes their run. And then it wasn't world record anymore. And they submitted the VOD to speedrun.com with like former world record in the title.
That's how it goes sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
If you've watched any of the Summoning Salt videos, I know some people in Pipeline have, sometimes you see very quick exchanges of the world record. Like the record can stay the same for so long, and then all of a sudden, like within 3 days, it like passes hands like 5 times. That's just how it goes sometimes, especially in a game as wild as Odyssey that has so many different side categories. So Koopa free running, anyone who's played Odyssey probably familiar. It's the races against the different Koopas in each area of the game. So it's gonna be all those together. It's gonna be a lot of fun. That's a little bonus incentive to donate for.
Yeah.
And after that, we have Demon Child Elise with Kogan Sword of Rewind. This is in the Gunvolt universe. imagine Gunvolt, but a little bit more melee based. So kind of imagine like Mega Man X. Imagine playing as Zero in Mega Man X. Um, that is, you know, that's kind of the idea for this game. Very stylistic, very cool. Definitely would recommend it. Um, the next game is by our friend Jew Horse. I'm not going to say anything about this game. It's called Bishi Bashi Special 2. If you know what that game is, cool. If you don't, it's a wild arcade game, and that's all I'm going to say.
You know what? Yeah, I
It's
agree. I think we should
yeah,
just not say anything about this. You just have to
yeah,
watch it. That's
Yeah,
it. You just have to watch it.
absolutely.
very short run. It's like less than 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And so following that, we have our kind of our Sonic block for this event. I know we had Sonic Mania earlier. You may be familiar with Argic. Argic has been on Twitch for a long time. He has showed off so many different Sonic games at so many different events, everything from GDQ to ESA. Um, we have Argic running for us. We've got Sonic Spinball opening up the Sonic block. That is the Sonic pinball game if you're not familiar. And then right after that, Argic is going into Sonic Chaos, which is one of the Game Gear Sonic games, one of the lesser run um, Game Gear Sonic games. And if you know Argic, then you know what to expect. If you don't, he is high energy, great commentary, amazing guy, amazing guy, very very kind guy. And you're definitely not going to want to miss those. It'll only take you like it'll take like maybe 40 minutes combined to watch those two games.
Yeah,
Um,
those runs are they're pretty fun to watch, but Arctic is just in general pretty fun to watch. So pretty much anything
yeah,
he submits um is always going to be a fun watch
yeah.
for anyone involved.
We got one more game in the Sonic block.
Yeah.
Um, I know some people here are very passionate about Sonic Adventure DX Director's Cut. This is from Nimputs, who is an incredible runner. We're going to be doing Sonic Story, and there will be an incentive to also do Knuckles Story. So we got a mix of 2D and 3D Sonic in here.
Look, okay, hold on. I think that I should introduce Nim by reading uh, what used to be his pinned tweets.
Oh God, okay.
Apparently he doesn't have any pinned tweets anymore.
That's sad. Everyone has to have one of those, don't they?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
That's required.
Yeah, hold on. Let me see. It might have been on his other account. He has one specifically for speedrunning and one for not speedrunning. So,
Yeah,
Which I
that's
think everyone
wise.
should have. I think everyone should have
Yeah.
a non-speedrunning account. So you're just not constantly around a bunch of, for lack of a better word, degenerates.
Yeah. A lot of
I
us
I
are
think someone should just
degenerates.
follow
Nims-
Elon Musk or something.
Nim's don't say that. Nim's former pinned tweet reads, "I am a bad influence because I will make you think that being fat and gay is cool," which it is.
I mean,
Yeah.
I can't argue that, to be honest.
Nimothy is a great guy.
Love
Nimothy.
Nimothy
Yeah.
puts.
Nimothy
Nimputs is very cool. Nim is from where's Nim from? Is it Germany?
I believe.
Yeah, Germany.
Yeah. So we got some people, and Argic is from the UK. So actually, I don't know if he's currently in the UK, but he's from Europe. So we got a lot of different people from all over participating in this event. After that, there's a very special game here. So everyone's familiar with Super Mario World. This game is called Sayonara Mario World, and if you are, you know, if you have paid attention to games somewhat recently, you may be aware of a game called Sayonara Wild Hearts. Um, and so this is a Mario World ROM hack that is influenced by that game. So it is very like music based and has different themes from that game. It's a very unique um, ROM hack. It's not like a lot of people when you say when you say ROM hack, they'll probably think of something like Kaizo Mario, where it's like if you jump at the wrong spot, there's a block that you'll hit and then you'll fall and die. And although there are elements of that in this, it's not so much about that so much as it is kind of just seeing these really unique and creative stages that are all like there's like unique like graphics and assets and music for everything in this game. So It's barely Mario World. It uses the physics of Mario World. Um, and they're going to be doing 100% of that hack, so you get to see all of it. And I know I'm not good enough to play it, and to beat it. So if you want to see some really cool Mario World with a twist, um, definitely you're going to want to see Sayonara Mario World. Very special ROM hack.
Yeah, and I want to mention
And
this real quick, just because
yeah,
it's gonna be relevant and like just through the marathon, because we have a few uh like community creations or like fan creations, like ROM hacks and mods and stuff. Um,
hmm
almost always, I mean not every time, but almost always, ROM hacks are just gonna be more difficult than the original game, because if you're going out of your way to find a ROM hack, chances are you've already beaten the original game. Chances are
yeah,
you already know at least enough to like do hard platforming and stuff like that. So like even though Sayonara Mario World isn't, on the level of like some of those Kaizo hacks, it's still going to be pretty difficult. It's definitely going to be worth the watch.
yeah, definitely. Um, And after that, something that won't be as difficult, we have Equality Texas back again, Nicole from Equality Texas. We're going to be doing some gaming trivia. And we welcome you to join us. We're going to maybe see if we can get maybe take bets on how many she's going to get right. If you're a Nintendo fan or a gaming fan in general, these questions are probably not going to be too difficult for you, but um, we're keeping it at at an average, non-degenerate difficulty for these. So I don't know, maybe if you have someone around who likes games but isn't like super into them, maybe they can play along and see how many they can get right. Um, and so after that, we're going into Shantae. A lot of people in Pipeline like Shantae.
I love
It's going to be
Shantae.
Shantae. It's going to be Shantae and the Pirate's Curse with Lori D. Bunnykins. She is a great runner, does a lot of different games, but Shantae and the Pirate's Curse is one of them. And she's going to be doing the any percent pirate mode, no out of bounds category. So, pirate mode is basically the game's new game plus. You start with all the major power ups in the game, such as the cannon and the gun, and pretty much all like the major like power ups that you get throughout the game, and you just have them from the beginning. So she's going to be going as fast as she can through the game. She's not going to be doing any kind of stuff like going, out of bounds or through walls or any of that stuff. So you kind of get to see how the game gets sort of destroyed by some of these items because they're extremely powerful. Lots of cool options, and when you have them all from the beginning, you can do a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
Shantae runs are
very
always super super cool, no matter the game.
um, Next, we have something really special. I think Ness, you can talk about this one.
Okay, so have you guys? I don't know, like if you live in a house or an apartment or what, but many times you like go, you wear your clothes and you're like, oh, they're dirty. Maybe I should wash them. That's hard, right? You put them in a bag, go to the washing machine. Have you ever thought, God damn, I want to play that fucking washing machine right there. I'm a gamer degenerate. I want to play that washing machine. This game,
Yes.
my finale,
Yep.
by my boy, my good friend Starrod Kirby. This man, you might recognize him. He's been at GDQ. He is a my god gamer,
He's a
and
beast.
he submitted for some reason. And everyone was like, yes, we're taking this. Absolutely, we're taking this. So he's in the
Yeah, it's an
schedule.
incredible rhythm game, incredible showcase of skill and endurance. We joke about the washing machine because if you're not familiar with the game, if you don't know the name, you probably still know the game. I know that was me for a while. I could never remember the name of this game, and I would just remember it as the washing machine game. And that's because it has a screen in the center, it's circular, and there's buttons around the edge. Um, and the actual arcade unit is kind of shaped like a washing machine. Like that's just kind of what it looks like. It is a touch-based and button-based rhythm game, and they have a very special custom set for us. So if you have seen their showcase previously at GDQ, it is going to be different songs,
Yeah,
and they're also going to be an incentive for this to show something else a little special off, little extra showcase. So
I'm going to be doing some
um,
live editing right now. I'm going to be showing a picture of my. This is
yes,
this is going to be video exclusive.
video exclusive picture.
This is my.
Wow.
Wow, you guys
Wow,
can't
it's
see it.
my.
I'll paste it. I'll paste it
It's
in the
fun.
Discord chat.
I'll imagine it.
Yeah,
Um,
and even in like some of like the releases of my, they even joke about it being like a washing machine game, which is really funny. Very very
Yeah.
very funny of Sega. I think it's Sega. Very funny of them to do that.
If you ever go to a GDQ, well, most GDQs, my Maya is there and it's always occupied. And like that's one of the mainstays of the arcade at GDQ. That's how I learned that this game is a thing because everybody was just playing like, oh, it's the washing machine game. Um, and so, anyways, after that incredible showcase, we have another block, and that's going to be the monkey ball block, or the marble roller block, I guess, because we're actually opening with a race in Rolled Out. Now, Rolled Out is a an indie marble rolling game that's pretty inspired by Monkey Ball. And what's cool about it is that there are custom made community level packs. And so we're actually going to be having a race for one of these. This is the Rat Venture um, level pack. The category is Warp, so we are going to be skipping stages. That's going to be between Helix and Slosh W, and they are both just phenomenal.
Yeah,
Um, like,
this pack was
yeah,
actually made by Susie, who was in our marathon earlier.
right. That's right. So they'll probably be on commentary
Yeah,
for this one. So yeah, we have the actual creator of the pack to kind of commentate on it. So if you're interested in maybe some of the decisions that went into that, or maybe what making one of these packs is like, or level design in general, you're interested in game design, definitely definitely come by for this one. It's a very quick race. It's not even 20 minutes long. Um, that's going to be great. And it's followed up by Banana Mania, which, everyone is pretty familiar with Monkey Ball Banana Mania. It's a remake of 1, 2, and Deluxe. Um, Something really cool is that Helix is extremely good at this game. Like, they are pretty much world record holder or almost world record holder at any given time um, in a lot of categories. Like, they are one of the best Monkey Ball runners. I don't like out there. I don't think that's an exaggeration.
yeah, they are
Um,
phenomenal at this game. There's actually a story mode, all worlds race, for this last GDQ by Helix and Peter Inc. But
yeah,
Helix is going to be on by themselves this time. Peter's still going to be on commentary, but this is going to be a solo run, and it's going to be all special modes. If you know anything about Banana Mania, um, hopefully you know that there is um, like the main game, right? Like Super Monkey Ball 1 and like all the challenge mode stuff, Super Monkey Ball 2, all the challenge mode stuff, story mode, and then there's going to be all the special modes like original stage mode and golden banana mode, you know, and even like deluxe mode. Helix is going to be doing
yeah,
all of those like in a row, just
yeah,
back to back, and it's only going to be not even an hour. So it's
yeah.
definitely going to be super super impressive. Like all these
It's gonna
alternate
be a
ways to play the
very
game.
it's gonna be a very special treat because these modes, if any of you have played them, you know how difficult they get, especially like dark banana mode where you can't touch bananas,
Yeah,
or like some of the golden banana mode levels where you need to collect all the bananas within the time limit and still finish. Um, there are a few of these different mini modes in Banana Mania, and this is we felt like this was like a really great showcase of what's special about Monkey Ball Banana Mania. So even if you've seen like Monkey Ball 1 and 2 runs before, I know plenty of people have seen Super Monkey Ball runs. This is something I think a little special and a little different. That's definitely worth checking out.
yeah, and this is
Um,
like a completely like unique run. I don't think it's really been shown in marathons, but
yeah, I haven't
um,
seen it.
yeah, but the cool thing about this is that every way you're playing all these levels is completely different from Super Monkey Ball 1 and Super Monkey Ball 2. The only thing
Yeah,
that's going to be pretty similar is going to be deluxe mode, but there's
yeah,
no
an
way in
original
deluxe to play
stage.
just like the deluxe exclusive levels. So it's still going to
Yeah,
be pretty different.
yep.
But the next run, now that I
Yes.
say
So next
that,
one is our second bonus game.
yes,
And it
bonus.
is the end of the Monkey Ball block. It's Super Monkey Ball 2, story mode, all levels, and that's by DMT Goobs if you're looking for a more traditional Super Monkey Ball style of run. And Goobs is
Goops is
just,
fantastic.
yeah, and young. Goobs is very young.
Yeah, Goops
How young?
is 16, I think,
Yeah.
and he
And
is world record contender in let me check every category that exists.
yeah,
This guy's
the
awesome.
if you want to see the highest level Super Monkey Ball 2, you're definitely going to want to donate to see that happen. And if you can't donate, just join and watch. It's going to be a blast. Um, And
Yeah.
so, yeah.
One thing I want to mention just about a skill level. World record right now is a 2753. He has a 2756, and he did a marathon run not that long ago, like a couple months ago, and he got a 2820, I think, which is it's kind of just unheard of, just in general, to play that close to just like your PB, and like especially in a game as optimized as Super Monkey Ball, um, it's completely unheard of.
Yeah,
And
it is.
Scoobs is just incredible at this game. It's
That is
absolutely
like
worth it.
that is literally like Monkey Ball savant level. Like,
Yep.
um, we're gonna start going through these a little bit quicker because we've been here for a little bit.
We've
And
been here
we
for an
don't
hour
want
and
to,
10.
yeah, we don't want
Yep.
to like make this last 3 hours. But Metroid Master, true to his name, is going to be doing a Metroid Zero mission run. It's going to be the any percent normal category. Metroid Master is fantastic. We got the Oregon Trail coming, the MS DOS version of Oregon Trail. If probably a lot of
Don't
you've
say
played this.
Oregon.
Listen, Oregon Trail, whichever you prefer. That's by Cerdo. He is very good at Oregon Trail, incidentally. Then going into Sunday for the East Coast, Pokemon trading card game. If you like Pokemon, you usually people talk all about how much they love the Pokemon trading card game, how they want a sequel, how they want to re-release whatever. We have They Are Chris doing that, and it is going to be a very risky category. This is any percent glitchless with Bulbasaur. It's about an hour long, and if you have played Pokemon trading card game, you know that obviously as a card game, it has a lot of menus, and a lot of this game, just watching it is just, the runner has to be very good at navigating menus very quickly. So the menus are going to be kind of flashing by like
Yeah.
extremely quickly.
I'd like to give you a nice impression of what watching this run sounds like. Ba-ding, ba-ding, ba-bing, bing, bing, ba-ding,
Yeah.
ba-ding,
It's
ba-ding,
literally
ba-ding.
that. And then also sometimes there's a coin flip, and then it does that again for
Yeah.
like 5 minutes.
Yeah, and there Chris has memorized and knows, all of these menus to be able to do this like without seeing them, essentially.
Yeah, they're real experience.
Yeah. Next is Kirby Air Ride. We got Kirby fans in pipeline.
It's me. I'm the Kirby fans in pipeline.
Yeah, that's by is it Chicky? Is
Yeah.
that how you
Yep. Chicky.
Yeah, it's cheeky.
Yeah. She is going to be doing Air Ride all tracks, so just all the tracks in the standard Air Ride mode, a very comfy category. And that is followed up by...
I would actually like to go back and call you wrong in every way right now.
I have to agree with Piner on this one. You're wrong. This
Why am I
run
wrong?
is high
You're
octane,
done.
incredible gameplay.
Well, I mean, it is high octane, don't get me wrong.
Scooter gaming right now.
Yeah.
Me when I ram into a wall for 22 minutes.
It's true.
It is wild, yes. I shouldn't. I'm kind of. I was saying like, oh yeah, it's Kirby, so it's cute and enjoyable, but this is a racing game and it is pretty wild. So don't let me undersell that.
Yeah, there's this tech called spin dashing where you get on the wheelie scooter and you do like a spin out type thing, and then you charge into a wall and you just go really fast.
Yeah,
and it's like very like technical because like there's a lot of little things that like make it a good or a bad. This is called spin dashing. There's a lot of little things here and there that can like make it a good or a bad spin dash. You get more distance, less speed, more speed, all that stuff. And you really have to master these and be able to perform them in quick succession and know like where are the most optimal places to use them. It's a very, very surprisingly interesting run from a game that didn't appear to have too many interesting like mechanics as far as a racing game goes. This one definitely has that covered.
Yeah. And following that is an equally, I would say, probably even more so, I don't even know, a very technical game, which is V6 or VVVVVV, if you prefer. It's going to be the 100% category by Elomavi.
Who has the world record, by the way, in this game?
Who is world record holder. And do we say it on here? We have something special for this, and I think people would be very interested in seeing this. We actually have the dev for VVVVVV, aka V6, on commentary for this run.
Yep.
So it is the world record holder, the developer of the game, and the 100% categories. You're going to be seeing everything that this game has to offer.
And then we also have
Um,
an incentive for an any percent run, where you, instead of doing everything, you
yep,
do almost nothing. You just do glitches, you go
yeah,
boop, 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 and then you win.
yep. So if you like that game, I know it's a very well loved game. A lot of people in Pipeline have played it, even on 3DS or on whatever, every number of
It's
platforms
on
it's
3DS.
showed up on. It is on 3DS.
Oh,
It actually made kind of a big splash on 3DS actually.
I didn't know that.
Um, yeah, and yes, we're gonna have the dev there. It's gonna be fantastic.
I
And then
legally can't talk about this
afterwards,
game.
there's some loser in our marathon that we just put there because we felt bad. Their name is
Yeah.
their name is Ness underscore. They kind of suck, but um, so I'm actually super crazy about this game. I wanted this game in so bad. It is a game called Chess Explosion, and you might be wondering that sounds like really stupid, but hear me out here. Um, it is a chess game, and each of the pieces, it's basically chess mixed with Bomberman. So when you drop a piece, the way that it explodes, and the tiles that it explodes is like how it would be able to move in chess. So if you drop a rook, it blows up, and it'll all the vertical row and the horizontal row on the board will be filled with a bomb blast. If you are using the king, it'll only be the 8 tiles and the center tile that are surrounding the king piece, and that'll be like the blast radius. So you really need to know how chess works to
I don't know
do
how chess
this.
works. I'm just pretty good at Bomberman.
Yeah, or you can be good at Bomberman and learn a little bit of how the chess pieces work. But it's
Yeah.
not only just like a standard chessboard. There are plenty of different modes in this game. It's on PC on both on itch.io and on Steam. And there's plenty of modes in this game, including multiplayer ones. But the run that Ness is going to be doing is a new mode called Dungeon Mode, and this is roguelike chess explosion.
Yeah.
So
Have you ever seen The
there
Binding of Isaac? It's like that,
yeah,
but
it's Binding
chess
of Isaac
Bomberman.
mixed with Bomberman, mixed with chess. It is 6 floors, um, and you need to find the boss key and defeat the boss on each floor to move up to the next floor. In between this, you're fighting rooms with enemies that are randomly generated. You're dealing with different course obstacles like spikes and sliders, and spider webs. You're also getting perks, like in a traditional, roguelike where, you might get something that boosts your max health, or you'll get something where you're invincible for a few seconds. Um, and they need to complete all 6 floors without dying, because if you die, like most roguelikes, your run's over. You're going back to the beginning. And they're only going to be using the king piece. So um, they're not going to be having a queen that shoots out a million blasts everywhere. They're not going to have the rook that covers a lot of ground. It's just going to be this 9 tile blast radius king piece, and what you're going to be seeing is a lot of manipulation to try to make enemies land where you want them to, when you want them to, so that they blow up as fast as possible. Um, there's some menuing for the map as well. You can do some fast travel on the map, and there's lots of different neat things that happen that I won't spoil throughout this mode. But it's a really really interesting mode and a really interesting game. If you like indie games, if you like Bomberman, if you like chess at all, I honestly would highly recommend it. It
If
is
you like
constantly
ducks at
getting
all,
updated. Yeah, if you like ducks,
Ducks.
yeah,
Yeah, they're
you play as
ducks.
a duck.
Also, remember when we said we were going to speed this up? Well, that was a lie.
Yeah, we lied. Um,
yeah, and
and
then
Chess
chess
I
explosion
Explosion
happened.
love lying.
And Chess Explosion also is kind of like Smash Bros, because the extra incentive for this game is going to be the arcade mode, and that is you're going through like a pretty much like classic mode in Smash Bros, or a traditional arcade ladder in other fighting games, where you are fighting different opponents. It's a different way, maybe a more traditional way to experience the game, and we'll be showing that off too.
Yeah.
Um,
The next one is super cool. Also, not to take away from chess explosion, the best game of all time, but we have Shrek Smash and Crash Racing, which is a racing game with Shrek characters question mark.
yeah,
Apparently, the speedrunning community didn't know that some of the different characters had stats because they were all so close to each other. So this is gonna be one of the only marathon runs that exist right now,
yeah,
using a slightly different character than like the fastest one, because having more control in this game is really good because you can actually jump over like walls and like do like checkpoint skips and stuff. It's super cool. Um,
It
but
is a
ugh,
nightmare
yeah,
of a
this
game.
is it's chess. It's
Uh,
not chess. It's Trek. I swear I
yeah,
know what I'm talking about.
it's Shrek with Mario Kart. It's tournament mode by our friend Conman. He had a run the other day where he got like destroyed by an item that like isn't even documented for the game, which I think is really funny. So yeah, you don't really know what's going to happen with this one.
Yeah, in our
Uh,
tech check earlier, he was like, front running as most racing game speedrunners do. He got hit by some item and it knocked him off of like the like the road he was on onto the lower road, and like he didn't like trigger the checkpoint. Um, he didn't trigger like the finish line. It was like basically at the end, and he had to go all the way back around, and he finished in sixth instead of first.
yeah, he got screwed, and Shrek is good at doing that.
Yeah.
Um, and so let's to speed things up again a little bit. We've got next from Brooke, The World Ends With You Final Remix. This is going to be any percent normal game, and it's actually they're going to be playing as two characters with or one player, two controllers. They're going to be holding both Joy Cons and doing stuff together because, as some of you may know, if you play this game in co-op, you do get bonuses to your stats and stuff for doing it. So this is going to be kind of just wild. We've got Yono and the Celestial Elephants, an indie game.
Yes.
Yeah.
After this is going to be reverse boss order. This is a Zelda style game, like a classic Zelda style game, but you're an elephant.
I love
And that's all I'm
elephants.
going to say. That's all I'm going to say. It's very cute, very fun.
Definitely
Uh,
be up at 4:40 in the morning Pacific time to watch
yeah,
this. It's
or early
super worth
morning
it.
Eastern. And then after that, if you like Square Enix, we've got more of that. We have Final Fantasy One. It is a race actually between Leggy Starscream and Kaguya Nikki. And this is an any percent glitchless race of the game on PC. It's gonna be very interesting to see how this one goes. Can definitely screw you over.
This run scares
Uh,
me. Like I'm scared
it's
to watch it.
scary, yeah.
Yeah. But
Um,
this next run is actually gonna be pretty
yeah,
cool. Pretty cool.
yeah. So some of you might know of a game called Paradise Killer. It is an indie game. It is a first-person adventure style game with a really cool sense of style. It's a really unique, interesting game. That's gonna be by Velma Dilemma.
It is really hard to describe this game.
It
Just
is hard.
watch it. Uh, it's kind of like a very visual novel, but also not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're one of
Yes.
those people that are like visual novel should never be speedrun, you just like click really fast and then you're done. This game is like that, but like if you can't click really fast to be done with it.
Yeah, because this game you are in person and you are moving your character, so there's a lot of movement stuff going on in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Followed by that is more Final Fantasy. We got Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise, the supermarket sweep category. This is by Gambit 017
Yeah.
and Cubs Rule 21. This is a race. Can someone explain to me what this is, or explain to everyone what this is? Because I am not good at RPGs. What is Free Enterprise?
So for free enterprise, at some point in Final Fantasy IV, you were given an airship, um, and it really like opens up the game. It's the big like oh aha moment or whatever, right? Um, there is basically this kind of like really frees up the game in a lot of ways. It like allows you to go about the game in pretty much any order that you want. But so free enterprise gives you the airship at the beginning, and you actually are able to complete whatever quests are available to you in any order. So you can just like do a whole bunch of crazy stuff, like out of order everywhere, and just go crazy. And it's if you've ever played Final Fantasy IV, this would be a really just like fun kind of like dismantling of the structure of the game. Um, so very very interesting, and it's pretty like crazy. Even if you haven't played Final Fantasy IV, just like what like routing decisions are made and like all this other crazy stuff, and just seeing somebody like go to a late game area at like level 5 or something or whatever, right? Because they just want to. Pretty crazy.
And when it says supermarket sweep, what does that mean?
I don't remember. I'm going to go look at the submission because I don't remember what that part meant.
Well,
I liked it. I remember liking it.
yeah, we liked
Yeah,
it.
I remember liking it, but I also don't know anything about Final Fantasy IV or
Yeah, we have other
Supermarket
Yeah.
people.
Sweeping.
We have other people besides us who help select games for this, so I assure you that people do know what this is, but not everybody can cover every base. And to give you an idea too, Final Fantasy IV is an RPG, a fairly lengthy RPG, and this free enterprise race is about an hour and 20 minutes. So there's going to be some wild stuff
Okay.
happening. But yeah, supermarket sweep.
My bad. Supermarket sweep is basically it's kind of like it's a more consistent. It's for consistency for the sake of the marathon. It's designed for newer runners, and it gives you a lot of like character checks and some of the best items in the shop for free, and some main key item locations. There are 4 objectives,
Mhm.
that you got to do, and then you can go on and beat the game. It's just basically for the safety of a marathon.
Yeah.
Which I remember reading and being like, I like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, because you can
when
go.
you hear
Now that I've reread it. So my apologies. It is 2 a.m. for me, so I'm quite tired.
Yeah, we're getting towards the end of things, but what you should know is that you'll often hear this a lot with speedrunning and speedrunning marathons, this idea of marathon safe. And the reason we go for things like that is because we have a schedule to keep, like we have a show to put on, and if things go too far off schedule, say, a run that's supposed to take an hour takes 2 hours because something goes wrong, a lot of times we are going to have to cut it early and then just move on. It's hard. So categories that are marathon safe, like this, are good both as showcases of the game and good for the interest of keeping the show going.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I
And
think
speaking of like
if
marathon safe, a lot of randos
yeah,
aren't really taken for marathons just because like randos in general are so unsafe.
yeah, they're
And the
very
fact
unsafe.
that
You
we
don't know what
have
you're gonna get.
like 2 is kind of like
Yeah,
big for
Is
SS4C because usually like we take like 1 every 3 years.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But
Randos are very
also,
popular, so we've been adjusting to show more of that.
well, and also just like it's interesting, and
Yeah.
as as time has gone on, rando has become a lot safer for marathons. People have gotten a lot better at it. More specifically, better at like consistency and stuff like that,
Mhm.
which has made it a lot more appealing to us because like before, like like we liked the idea, but like consistency was always kind of a question. But that's becoming less and less of an issue as time goes on, which has been nice.
And also length
Um,
too.
Length as well, yeah.
I think too, if you like Final Fantasy IV, you enjoy Final Fantasy, and you want to experience that game in a slightly different way, um, Free Enterprise is cool. And this category in particular is probably the most friendly category for newcomers to Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise. So maybe watching this, you might be able to see that it's something that you could actually do. Not even necessarily in a speedrunning context, but just playing in general. It's a very good entry point.
Yep.
Yeah. And
So,
And then we got Puyo. I mean,
yep.
Mean Bean Machine. My bad.
Moving on,
yeah,
we got our last little mini Sonic block with Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine because we love Puyo, and it's not shown very often for some reason. So
and we love
that's gonna be from
Arcania.
that's from Arcania CQ. They're going to be doing that, and then they're also going to be doing Sonic Robo Blast 2, which is
Sonic Robo Blast Blue is
yeah.
so cool. What
We
a
have a
cool
lot of
game.
fans of Sonic Robo Blast 2 in our community. For those who don't know, it is a fan-made 3D Sonic game in the Doom engine.
Yeah, it is a Doom mod that is just
Yeah,
a
it is
Sonic
its
game.
own thing. It's been in development since 1998. A lot of everyone in this call except for me was not born when this game started development.
I
Um,
can't believe this game is older than me.
yeah, and this is gonna be with Tails, beating the game with Tails. So
Yeah.
this game is very fun because the movement is so satisfying. It really carries the classic Sonic style of momentum based platforming very well into 3D. I would say like if you haven't played this game, you should definitely give it a go. Very cool game with tons of custom mods and stuff, but this is just going to be the standard game with Tails, and it is a blast. And it moves very quickly. This runs a little over a half an hour long, and it's very cool. After that, we have a little game called
Oh, this
Distance.
game is sick. So
Yeah.
okay, imagine like you're playing like Temple Run. You know, you're doing your little jumps, you're doing your little slidey slides, right? Um, so imagine a game like that, right, where you're just kind of going, um, in more of a speedrun sense, right, where instead of just being on rails the whole time and doing your little slides and stuff, you can jump on top of walls and skip stuff. Imagine that with a car.
Yeah. Car with
That was a
wings.
terrible description.
Yeah.
It was an awful description, but like
So
that's the
imagine.
easiest way to get into
Okay,
this game.
okay, hold on. No, I think I have a better one. Imagine
Okay.
if the gravity sections from Mario Kart 8 were free running.
Yes.
What?
Like, you could just go from one gravity wall to another and just do that. And that was something that you were allowed to do.
Essentially, what you're doing is you're going through these these levels. There's a beginning and an end. And whenever you land on a surface, that becomes your new gravitational like center.
Right.
So if you land on a wall or say you land on a ceiling, that ceiling becomes the ground for you, essentially.
Yeah.
Um,
Also, you can fly.
Oh
and
yeah.
you can
Also,
fly
yeah. There's
because
wings and
you
you can
are a
fly.
car with wings. So it kind of is reminiscent a little bit of some of the floatiness of Rocket League. It's very different, but like if you can imagine how like Rocket League kind of has like the weird floatiness and people do weird stuff in the air. This is like that, but like cranked up to the next level, and it is a stage by stage game. It's very unique. It's very chill. If you're interested in this game and if it sounds cool to you, it is on PC. It's on Steam, and it'll be fun. It's a fun, unique kind of game.
Yeah, and
Um,
again, this is gonna be like I said before with like ROM hacks. It's relevant once again. I mean, it was relevant a little bit with Rolled Out, but I forgot to mention it.
yeah,
Because yeah, it's completely custom content. But Super Metroid Ascent.
yes.
Again, it's a ROM hack. It's gonna be a little bit harder, but it's gonna be super super interesting. It's being run by Linkameister. I love this guy.
Yes. Linkameister is the world record holder in this game as of like last week, at least. I don't know if it's changed since because things change a lot. You might be like, oh, okay, cool, Super Metroid, whatever. This game is a custom game in the Super Metroid engine. So that means an entirely different map, entirely different structure, new graphics, remixed and different music, new power ups, even like ones that do not exist in the vanilla game. It's much harder. We're going to be going for 100%, so we're getting all of those items. And as everyone knows, one of the most treasured games done quick GDQ traditions is the save or kill the animals incentive.
I forgot
As a
where you're
bid
going with
war.
that, and I thought you were gonna say orb, and I was gonna actually just like
No,
disconnect from the
it's
call.
not. That is not one of the more enjoyed ones. You can donate to decide if we're going to let the animals live or die, but in a different version of Super Metroid. So it is not the normal version of save or kill. Um, I was watching this for the submissions video. I was hooked watching the whole thing. It is so different and unique, like mechanics that you are familiar with in vanilla Super Metroid, such as shine sparking, um, and and all kinds of stuff, including like new mechanics and new items, are all so different. It's very identifiably Super Metroid, but it is different. It's extremely different and still really fun to watch and follow. And even though might not be familiar with the hacks, game world and content, it's very easy to follow. If you are familiar with how Metroid games play, you can appreciate a lot of the differences in the skill in this one. So yeah, one of my personal favorites in this marathon. I would definitely recommend it. That's going to be around 3:45 on Sunday afternoon if you're on the East Coast.
One of my
Um,
personal favorites in this marathon is
mhm,
this next game. Um,
yes.
the next game is Lost Kingdoms. It's by Double Double, and it's a RPG on the GameCube. It's another card game, but it's almost like a real time card game where you can like move around and do stuff. But also there's like fighting people with cards, and also there's out of bounds question mark, and also there's a lot of sequence breaking, and there's a little bit of grinding for certain cards, and the routing is completely unique. It's not something I've seen very much from other RPGs, and it's so just it had me hooked the first time I saw it.
And this game's under an hour for the run, by the way. So if you like RPGs and you don't want to sit there for like 3 hours to watch an RPG run, this is an RPG speed run for people who hate watching RPG speed runs.
Yeah,
There's a lot going on there in
even
that
for
time.
people who love watching RPG
And
speedruns.
if you love watching them too, you'll like it. But it's I know for me, as someone who does not really enjoy RPGs and someone who cannot necessarily sit there and be like, okay, I'm gonna watch 5 hours of, or like 10 hours of Final Fantasy VII or whatever. Um, this is something that's very digestible.
Yeah.
And another game for fans of RPGs and a lot of people in general is Deltarune, and we have a
Deltarune.
What's
race.
that? I've
Uh,
never heard of Deltarune
we have
before.
a race between Jock and I don't know. I don't want to ruin this name, but
I just know that they shortened it to Ash, so I'm gonna say Ash.
we're gonna say Ash. This is a Deltarune race. All chapters, all bosses, no major glitches, and this is very special because Jock is one of the best Deltarune players in existence. They are world record contender or have the record depending on category, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
so for this category, this is the race between number 1 and number 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Their PPs are 23 seconds apart.
yeah. This is going to be some of the highest level Deltarune play that you can see, and we're so excited that they submitted and wanted to be a part of um, this event. It's going to be a really great time. If you're familiar with Deltarune, or even if you're not, you're going to get a pretty good tour through Deltarune and what it offers, and I'm sure you'll be able to appreciate it even more if you've played through the game, or what's available of the game so far.
Yeah, and they even absolutely have like the chemistry to like pull off like an hour and a half. It's not even that long for like what it is too.
Yeah. We have a last segment with Equality Texas after that. That's going to be around 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time with the CEO of Equality Texas, actually. So it'll be a good time. And then we're going to be going into Hollow Knight. So, Hollow Knight, it's going to be 107%. All bosses, no major glitches. This is by Violet. This is a very long category. This is one of those, comfy late night runs, but anyone who's played Hollow Knight knows that this game doesn't really pull punches, and we're going for 107%. So this is like we're showing everything that pretty much that Hollow Knight has to offer by one of the best Hollow Knight runners out there.
I wanted to say this because this is super important. Um, I think I'm not totally sure, but I'm almost positive that Violet, at the time of submitting, was second place. They now have world record.
And how many runs of Hollow Knight 107% are there? And even just Hollow Knight runs in general. There's a lot.
I mean, for 107%, it's not like that popular of a category.
Right, it's
Um,
very long
yeah, there's only
time
20
commitment.
runs, but last
Yeah,
place is 5 hours and 11 minutes, and
yeah,
Violet has a 3:01.
yeah. And that's obviously a very major difference.
Yeah,
And you really need to know this game and its mechanics and its maps and everything very, very well.
yeah, and even though like for that specific category there aren't a lot of runs, on the main boards, at least for any percent, there's still 554 runs.
Yeah,
It's a popular
obviously
game.
a very popular game that we're delighted to have on here. And then after that, we're getting towards the end now. We got our third bonus game is actually Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and it's actually the 150cc no item playthrough of the Booster Cup, the first wave of the Booster Cup pass that came out very recently. That's the 8 tracks, including Paris Promenade and Ninja Hideaway, by P's SMB, who we mentioned earlier was not
A
only
god
good at
gamer.
Puyo, is also good at Monkey Ball, is also good at Mario Kart. So that's going to be a bonus game. That is going to be a cumulative donation. So if we hit a certain threshold, we're going to be getting that. This is a very short category, but it is very very furious. You get to see some of the crazy strategies on the new tracks that have already taken shape. In the few weeks since the first wave of the DLC came out. We're really happy we get to show this off.
Yeah,
Um,
parts of this run are super rough, and
yeah,
the ways that like a lot of runners deal with just like the difficulty is like pretty cool. And
Yeah.
again, one of the best like 150cc runners, because he's usually plays with babies. He can like snake very well through a lot of the tracks. It's super 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 fluid, and
Yeah.
just one of the best showcases you can ask for, honestly.
Yeah, it's very satisfying, and I know anyone who's watched the podcast or is in the server has either played the game or they watched us playing it or watched someone else play it. So the tracks, and there's some really cool stuff here. Um, so following that, we go to something completely different, which is Halo 2 Anniversary Edition, the Master Chief Collection version of Halo 2. That's by Astra Quasi. She is going to be doing any percent easy, but there will be an incentive to bump this up to a legendary difficulty run. So if you enjoy Halo, if you enjoy shooters, I know we got a lot of Halo fans in pipeline. We are friends with Xbox Era, and Nick from Xbox Era, I know we've had him on the podcast before. Very cool guy. Our friend Jamie from Xbox Era. Um, they dig Halo 2. I mean, anybody who's cool generally digs Halo on some level. Um, Very fun, unique, or not necessarily unique, but just a very solid, very satisfying game to watch.
Mhm.
If you are familiar with Halo, as you probably are, especially Halo 2, since how popular it is, um, you'll see some crazy stuff here, especially if we get that legendary incentive met.
Yeah, please stick around for it. And also, last run of the marathon, please stick around for
Yeah.
that.
We have our grand finale for this marathon is going to be Paper Mario
By my good
on the
friend,
N64.
my good friend MX4. I love them.
Yeah.
It's
They're
Um,
gonna
doing
be
the
all
yeah, it's
cards.
gonna
Yeah,
be
that is
all
the
cards
all cards
question mark.
category.
Definitely
Yes.
going through the entire game in the intended order, doing all of the cards, and the only way you can do all of the cards question mark,
Yeah.
something like
Um,
that.
as you probably know, a lot of events they save some special stuff for the end.
And
Um,
we're not going to tell you what it
we're
is.
not
Actually,
yeah we're not going to
you're
tell you
just
what it
gonna have
is,
to watch and find out.
but we may have something special that we are cooking up for Paper Mario that the MX4 has graciously um, offered to do for us. So if you are into Paper Mario at all and you really want to see some wild stuff, you're going to want to stick around for this finale for Paper Mario All Cards? Question mark.
All cards.
Um,
Paper
yeah,
Mario.
question mark. Yeah, question mark. Paper Mario,
All right.
definitely. There's no question mark on the Paper Mario, but
Paper
question
Mario
mark?
Sticker Star. I love that
No,
game.
not that
Question
one. Not that
mark?
one. Not that one. The N64 one.
That I
Um,
just leaked the beans. It's actually we're just gonna be playing Sticker Star, but it's not gonna be a
yeah,
speedrun. We're just
yeah.
all gonna like sit there in VC and be like, ah.
um, but yeah, that is the schedule for speed stuff for trans lives. Again, we are raising money for Equality Texas in support of the trans and non-binary community. And honestly, just the extended LGBTQ plus community at large that Equality Texas also does work for. But as a lot of you know, there's been some very unfortunate legislation um, and political happenings that have been, you know, pretty gross and disgusting. And we want to support our trans and non-binary friends and help, you know, educate people more about what that really means. You know, people can understand that you know anyone who identifies as trans or non-binary is just as valid as someone who identifies as male, female. You know,
An assist a white man with a podcast.
yeah, yeah, which we're
They're
good
all
at.
equally
Hmm.
valid.
Yeah,
Hmm.
we do have
Stares intensely.
we have a very diverse community on Nintendo Pipeline, and we very much value that. People of all kinds of different backgrounds, all kinds of different, globally, just all over the place. We have people all around the world. So many different people with so many dramatically different lives and circumstances, and you know, we are so grateful to have you guys as part of our community, and we do value you all, and we want to show you that, this is something that we care about, and we're going to try together to improve things,
Nintendo
in this
Pipeline says
world.
fuck transphobia.
Yeah, Nintendo Pipeline says trans rights is basically the moral of this podcast. And when we go live on April 8th at 12 p.m. Eastern, even if you can't donate or don't want to donate or don't have the money or whatever, it's completely fine. Even if you just want to stop by and say hi, even if you just want to retweet stuff on our Twitter, which I'll put in the description as well, it's twitter.com/ss4c marathon. Even if you want to check out, videos of specific runs after the event's over, we'll have those on our YouTube. If you just want to tell people about it, anything like that helps. It's not just because you can't donate, doesn't mean that you being there or being a part of this is any less valuable. Honestly, I would even say on some level it's more valuable that you're there, even if you can't, even if you can't financially contribute. Just show up, support our runners. We have runners from all kinds of different backgrounds, and some of and even Alexis, is in our community. Just come and support her, and have fun with us, because that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be having a lot of fun. It's going to be April 8th through April 10th, this weekend, if you're listening to this soonish. And yeah, we hope to see you there.
Is it
So with that,
podcast outro time?
it's podcast outro time.
Oh baby.
Podcast outro time.
Yeah, so yeah, you can if you like this podcast, at least one of us has been on most of the other ones. I've been on a couple. Also, Piner's here too. If you wanna plug your stuff. If you wanna plug your stuff.
Cool. Follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/Piner7500. Just do it.
Piner is a dirty Smash player. So
Yeah.
Ew.
Dirty, you mean clean? Look
Yeah.
at them clips.
Nasty.
You are a Lucas main. So
Yeah, I'm disgusting. However,
well, people love Earthbound and Mother 3.
People do love Earthbound.
Discord, so.
And I am here to show you that if you decide that you don't want to be a complete bitch while playing Lucas, you can just not, actually, and still get results. I am top 10 in my state. I've gotten some pretty decent results here or there at regionals and stuff. Doing pretty good. If you're much more interested in a different character I play, I secondary Roy, or co-main rather. And I know a lot more people tend to find that character more enjoyable to watch. So, outside of that, I do some speedrunning. Marathon organization is most of my engagement with the speedrun community currently. However, I have been doing a lot of Sonic Adventure 2 bingo recently, because there's a bingo league going on, and that's been a lot of fun. But don't expect me to keep up on that for too much longer.
We do have a sizable Sonic community. We also have a sizable Sonic haters community in pipeline. But the worst of all is we have a bunch of people who love Sonic Adventure 2. So if you're one of those people,
boo.
First off, boo. But second off, on a serious note, definitely check out some runs of Sonic Adventure 2 and the bingo scene sometime. You might see Piner.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
and who is the other person who's with us?
CMM1215.
No. Other person.
Piner.
No. You.
Me.
That's underscore.
You can find me on Twitch by going to dualgaming.info.
That is
please.
the banana.
Yeah,
like
dualbanana.gaming.info. If you want to learn how to dual game, you can go to dualgaming.info and you could watch me play video games. But also haven't been streaming very much because I'm preparing to leave my house. But that's okay. Psh, whatever. Follow me anyways.
Same.
Yeah, nothing like getting ready to move in the middle of doing a giant event, right?
Yeah, not stressful at all.
Definitely not, especially considering that only one of us in here has actually been making the arrangements for the apartment. Smile, smile, wink, wink.
Yeah,
smile.
So it's been a busy, tumultuous time. I'm sure I've mentioned it a little bit in the community, but I've been kind of not there as much because other things are taking up my time, like this. So
Like going to your friend's wedding that one time.
well, soon, not yet.
Oh,
Soon.
soon.
But yes, this is a very
Soon,
busy
soon.
month in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also have a Twitter. Follow my Twitter. Twitter.com/NNNNES. I tweet bangers like Applebee's.
Yes.
What else did I tweet? Hold on, I'm gonna look because I'm funny. I'm funny, guys. I swear.
Ness is a funny person on Twitter. They all say that, but I think Ness is fairly funny on Twitter.
Yeah, I said
so-
Applebee's. I said, how much do you open your DS when you play it? And a bunch of people said 4 notches. I don't trust my followers anymore.
yeah. Let us know how many notches you open up your DS.
I retweeted a Ninja tweet that says, if you're going to do big things in 2011, retweet this from March 15th, 2011.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, cool. So Ness is not a liar.
Yeah.
But as always, you can catch us on Spotify, you can catch us on YouTube, you can catch us on Stitcher, you can even watch on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all kinds of different platforms. If you want to go to the community blog that is still in an undead state, that is nintendopipeline.wordpress.com. I think that's about all the
You can also, I don't know if you say this usually, but on the rare occasion where there's a bonus video episode, you can find that on Spotify also.
That's true.
They gave us
they do
those
that.
permissions, bro.
Yep. And remember, there's a special picture this week for anyone who watches with the video.
Yeah, there's a special picture of the washing machines, bro. Remember.
Next week we'll be back to a more traditional episode. But yeah, thank you for listening. And if you like what you hear, please consider following, subscribing, or listening to some of our other episodes.
And joining the Discord too. Do that. That's cool.
Yeah, join the Discord. You can find a link for that on nintendopipeline.wordpress.com as well, or discord.gg/nintendopipeline.
Is that all the plugs?
I think that's it. So with that, I heard Piner taking sleeping medication because it's late here. But yeah, final note. Again, please join us for Speed Stuff for Trans Lives on April 8th through April 10th, and come hang out and see some cool speedruns.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.